Good morning, ladies. Good morning. It's the last week of October. Can you believe that? I have been having a ride with you all, starting with berries and then cruciferous vegetables, and last week tofu, and then this week it's going to be lentils. So, no, I did not, because it was just, including once a week. So I found that there is no point in me putting something every week. So, yeah, I appreciate that. And yeah, so welcome everyone. I am Priya. I am mom to a junior high schooler, a diva, and also a registered dietitian. And I am so privileged to lead nutrition classes for you in a way that that empowers you to implement whatever I try to deliver in a way that is doable for you in your real life. So, these past 4 weeks, we have been using AICR, which is American Institute for Cancer Research, recommendation on how to build that cancer preventative, reducing cancer recurrence risk recommendations into your plate. It's not, we have not been concentrating on any of other lifestyle pillars, but it's just your plate. And the objectives of this series, this past 4 weeks, including today, is to help each of us learn to apply. That keyword there is apply evidence-based recommendations in selecting foods that are cancer preventative. And if you have been through each of my classes, and a lot of my divas here have been through each of it, we have concentrated on a specific type of food or plant each time, and through the actions in the app, each of you have developed confidence in implementing it in your daily lives. I know we have a new diva here and she's thinking, what is the app? But you will get to know it as we slowly move through our session today, and also in something that's coming up in December. So that app is always part and parcel of the secret recipe that I offer, so that each of you are able to practice and apply what you learned today, because without application, that information is of no use, right? So, all through this series, each of you have been able to identify at least 3 ways that plant foods can be incorporated and how they can be cancer preventative. And you have been gaining confidence in, applying those recommendations. And AICR always recommends that it's about the whole dietary pattern. It's not about a single superfood. If anybody tells you that a single superfood is going to be really super, like, is it? That's what you should say, right? So it's about the whole dietary pattern, including lot of plant foods such as vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and being very mindful about that sugary drinks. That's the 10,000 feet view of what AICR recommends. And as I said, it's about implementing a plant-forward dietary pattern. And what does AICR recommend? How much of your plate needs to be plant? Quarter, half, 2/3. There you go. 2/3. We all love multiple choice questions, right? So, incorporating 2/3 of your plate plants is evidence to reduce cancer risk. It's evidence to reduce recurrence and really keep you healthy, your whole system healthy. And how do you do that? Sneak in plants wherever you can. And that's what we have been doing, right? In the first week, to give you a review, we demonstrated, we discussed how to include berries, the colorful fruits, as part of a smoothie. We had one of the divas include blueberries as part of her salad. And I'm sure each of you would have experimented how to include that half a cup, which some of you, really figured out that, oh, it's a lot, or 1 cup is a lot, right? So kind of distributing it all through your daily meals. That was the first week. In the second week was cruciferous vegetables, right? Cruciferous vegetables is that magic bullet that helps in initiating that cascade of biochemical reaction in your body to calm any inflammation, to calm any oxidative stress, and thereby help prevent cancer or reduce the risk of recurrence. And then we tasted that kale pesto, right, pasta, and we had one of our divas really show us how to get set up. Yeah, how to get set up with, for the week so that you can have cruciferous vegetables. And she was not even at home. She was at a retreat and she still made it happen. And we shared those beautiful pictures the week before last. And last week was tofu, right? Tofu is that food that has gone through a lot of controversies. And we discovered that, those controversies are baseless. It's totally healthy to include moderate amounts of tofu as part of your eating pattern. And then we tasted scrambled tofu, right? And I was so privileged to turn some of the skeptics, aha. So that was our last week. And today we are going to step forward and see, how beans and lentils help us, and all towards that that goal of including 2/3 of your plate, right? Which means how can you be curious about the animal protein that you include in your plate this week. Now, animal proteins do have their place. They are awesome sources of protein, iron, and all of that. But how can you be curious about that portion and see how you can maybe consider adding a little bit more beans or lentils, or even considering to lessen your portion size and include some beans or lentils. So that's totally left to how you want to craft your plate, right? So that's the idea there with beans and lentils. So outline for today, we will curiously explore beans, lentils, and how they impact your health. Identify various forms of beans and lentils. There are 16,000 varieties of beans and lentils in the world. So you or I cannot, dice and, understand about each of them, but we can understand at a higher level, what are the different forms of beans. And then we'll discuss what are the different strategies to include beans and lentils in your eating pattern. And then maybe discuss some cooking techniques to prepare beans and lentils, right? And I'm going to have a demo today. Your recipe is actually Instant Pot, and then I figured out, let me give you something different even on a stove top. Maybe some of you, have an Instant Pot but are still kind of, I don't know, it's a gadget and I don't know how to use. So I was like, Instant Pot recipe, this gets done in 1 minute. So if any of you has Instant Pot, there is the recipe for you. But I thought, I'll give you a different flavor of it on a stove top. Again, doesn't take a lot of time, but it follows the same recipe. So different cooking methodologies depending on the time that you have in your pocket. And then there is a video too that I have incorporated as part of our presentation today, something that I have been experimenting as new. I am the queen of experiments, right? So there is something that I have incorporated in our presentation. So my objective is for each of you to walk away with at least, couple of ways by which you feel like you can incorporate beans as part of your eating pattern, okay? So that's our outline for today. Now, beans are nutrient-rich cancer fighters. Why? Because they are packed with fiber, they are packed with antioxidants, and phytochemicals. Phyto means plant. And those chemicals, the bright colors in many of the beans are nature's way of preparing those small seeds or beans or even the whole plant to fight any of those nature, the pests, the insects, etc. So they are packed with fiber, antioxidants, phytochemicals, and each of these have been evidenced to help reduce cancer risk. And it is well known that, beans and legumes or lentils, another name that they are called, as they do help with that healthy gut microbiome, the wonderful microorganisms, the gut bacteria that each of us have, and thereby boosting immune function, reducing inflammation. And many of you who have been through the Balance Your Blood Sugar series know that it also contributes to your blood glucose metabolism. So all in all, these little gems are packed with, all anti-cancer compounds. And, we'll figure out today what they are, how they are helping our system in fighting cancer, right? So just a quick review. Phytochemicals again are those naturally occurring chemicals that are found in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, beans, lentils that reduce the risk of major chronic diseases. Those are those bright colored compounds. They are not even micronutrients. They are just those side nutrients. Those are present, and they are antioxidants. They help prevent damage to cells and free radicals. And then, that colorful, rich plant diet is what will give you that variety of antioxidants and phytochemicals. So what are some categories of phytochemicals? Carotenoids, always present in orange colored, in yellow colored plant foods, right? Flavonoids, isoflavones are present in tofu that we discussed last time. They are also present in most of, the colorful berries, whatnot. Whenever there is color, there is flavonoids. We discussed about indoles in cruciferous vegetables, lignans are present in flax seeds, and curcuminoids are present in turmeric. So, just an idea about the categories of phytochemicals. As I always say, it's not a chemistry class, you don't have to remember it, but just so that, that, there are all these phytochemicals that are present in the variety of plant foods, okay? So what are the antioxidants that are present in beans and lentils? There are polyphenols that help our cells from oxidative damage. There are flavonoids that again present that anti-inflammatory, antioxidant capabilities or advantages to your cells. And then they are also rich in vitamin C and carotenoids, right? So vitamin C is that immune function, right? With the flu season coming into the picture, it's very important to boost up your immune function. So, they are also very rich in vitamin C and carotenoids. So, just know that beans are those little magic gems, are very, very high in phytochemicals, in antioxidants, in fiber, so that you can set your body up to be strong against any of the chronic conditions. So what are some examples of legumes and beans? Soybeans, edamame, that we have discussed before, is also a bean. So soybeans, string beans, chickpeas, black beans, lima beans, kidney beans, black-eyed peas, navy beans, lentils, fresh peas, right? This is only a small subset of the 16,000 varieties of beans. Each culture has its own specific beans that they love to include. So this is just a snapshot. Which of these do you like to include? Mm-hmm. Lima beans. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So black beans, black-eyed peas, chickpea. Mm-hmm. Chickpeas too. Yeah, yeah. Except for one of our divas here. Everybody. Which is totally okay, right? There is something about the texture, I think, that some of us might not appreciate, but pick something that you like and yeah. Uh, uh-huh. Yes, yes, totally. Uh-huh. Yes, there is a recipe here in this. Go ahead. What is that? Uh-huh. Skinny one. Okay, totally accepted. Counts. Yeah, absolutely. It counts. Hummus comes from chickpeas, so it definitely counts, right? So there are n number of ways you can include, and there is that the crispy croutons or snack. There is a chickpea air fryer or roasting recipe here, right? 15 ounce of canned chickpeas, and then you add 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 teaspoon of seasoning of your choice, however you want to season them, and then roast at 350 or until crispy, and I have found sometimes that by the time it is out, half of it is done because you have been tasting it all through. So oh, so that's a nice little and they are very crunchy, right? So that's a nice addition to it.
By any chance, pigeon peas go into that?
Which pigeon peas? Yeah, it's that yellow colored flat one, right?
No, they're like green when they're raw, but then when you cook them, they go into like a
Brown color?
in a brown color.
Oh, okay. Pigeon peas. So the pigeon definitely counts. All those peas and beans are very high in protein, fiber, and all of them, right? And as I said, each culture has its own specifics. Like if you ask from my culture, there is mung bean, there is pigeon peas, but it's a different one. So there are at least 5 or 6 varieties that is very specific to my culture. And if I go around the table, like depending on our ancestry, I'm sure we each will have our own specific beans. That definitely counts. Go ahead, do it. Right? So as I said, there are 16,000 types of beans that are grown in different parts of the world, and they come in different sizes, different shapes, different colors, and different textures. And my high school teenager was telling me that one of the reasons why beans became part of our eating pattern was, humans considered it as a way when famine comes, right? Those are, you can dry it and you preserve it. So that's one of the reasons why beans kind of got into our culture. And I found it like, interesting, right? I do. We learn from each other, and age is not a barrier for learning, right? So definitely. So that's a cute little fact there. So what are the health benefits? They are evidence to lower the risk for any heart disease. So it really promotes cardiovascular health. It helps with regulating your blood pressure. It helps in reducing the risk for stroke, plays a major role in blood glucose metabolism because of what? Fiber, iron, folate. Which one? Yes, because of the fiber, it plays a key role in blood glucose metabolism, because fiber is the king of your plate if you are wanting to take care of your blood glucose levels, right? And the fiber is also evidence to help with reducing the risk for colorectal cancer, because the fiber helps you go every day. It kind of, makes that system down there, your large intestine, really healthy and keeps it doing its job. So what are some of the minerals that it has? So all beans, lentils are high in iron, high in folate. Folate is a vitamin. It's those one of the B's. It's high in B9. That's the folate. It's high in manganese. Manganese is a cofactor that is needed for detoxifying for one of the enzymes in your body. So it's high in manganese. It's high in copper, and it's also high in thiamine. So thiamine and folate are very key B vitamins that your body needs. So, if you're incorporating half a cup of beans or lentils in your daily eating pattern, you're taking care of all of these minerals that your body needs. Yeah, along with the yumminess, along with the comfort that those give you, right? So a pot of lentils cooked is, it's very soul. Oh my goodness, at the end of the day, it really helps you calm down in some way, right? So, those are some extra benefits. Again, they are very high in fiber, and because of the fact that they are high in fiber, they are that prebiotics, that food that good gut microbacteria needs, and of course they are high in protein too. So for vegetarians, who do not have any form of animal protein like, meat or fish, beans are the number one source of protein that they are able to incorporate. So it's a magic gem there, isn't it? It's, it has Mother Earth made beans for a purpose, and they do come filled with nutrients, fiber, prebiotics, protein, and all those minerals that our body needs. And I'm only scratching the surface when I present this. If I present a full research study, it'll be like hundreds of lines in there, but the idea is, those beans and lentils do have all these health supporting benefits. And how much do you need every day? Half a cup of serving per day. And how much is half a cup? Let's see. This much is half a cup. Yes. Half a cup cooked. Half a cup cooked. That's all you need. Good question, right? So it's not the big cup, it's only half a cup, right? So you can fill it with that French cut beans. You can fill it with lentils. You can fill it with black-eyed peas. You can fill it with pigeon peas, whatever you like, okay? Whichever form you like to include. So to give you an idea, let's look at the protein column, right? So there is black-eyed peas here, kidney beans here, there is chickpeas, there are different varieties of lentils, and there are dry peas too. And if you look at the protein column, anywhere from 7 grams to 12 grams, and that edamame that we tasted in one of the classes, and even tofu, half a cup of edamame has 12 grams of protein, right? So it's very close to what 3 ounce, around not 3 ounces, around an ounce of animal protein gives, right? So very close to that. Fiber, half a cup gives you anywhere from 5 to 10 grams of fiber there. And then look at the potassium, magnesium, folate. They all come, packed with magnesium. Magnesium is that calming mineral. It also plays a big role in many of the biochemical reactions inside our body. Potassium is cardiovascular supporting. So all in all, what do you think? Yay, lentils beans or no lentils beans? Yes, lentils beans, right? And I'm now looking at that fiber thing, and I'm sure you have seen this before. There are 2 types of fiber, which all of you know, soluble and insoluble fiber, and beans has both of them, right? Why do beans swell up? Because it's of that soluble fiber inside it, but it does have that insoluble fiber which our system cannot digest, but it's It is food for the good gut bacteria, and it also helps with your bowel movement. So this is that neat little slide that many of you would have seen before. Fiber is that skeleton of plants which gives us structure, it increases fullness, it also assists in making you go. It does help in detoxification, meaning clearance of toxins, and it feeds your good gut bacteria as well, right? And what are the different forms of beans? There are dried, right? And they can be purchased in bulk, but you need some pre-planning if you are wanting to cook with it. You need to soak so that the cooking time gets reduced, right? Or you need to cook for a longer time. And when you soak, there are some phytates or lectins that some of those beans might have. Those are removed as well. So they do take longer time to cook. And if you are using a pressure cooker like an instant pot, or even I think slow cooking also counts, but I think it takes around 12 hours for it to cook if it's in the dry form. Okay, so they can be purchased dried, they can be purchased canned. So today in our recipe, I'm using canned lentils. I usually shop at HEB, but if you're shopping at Trader's Joe or at Sprouts or any other places, you do get canned lentils. I opened a can and I drained the water and I rinsed it under flowing water to remove, anything extra that is not needed, right?
If you were to buy a bag of lentils,
Mhm.
do you have to? I think it says soak them.
Mm-hmm.
No, you don't have to. Because I've made like sausage and you don't have to. You don't have to.
Yeah, lentils you don't have to cook because they cook very easily.
Okay.
Yeah, but still it takes a
takes a little
little
bit of time.
time. Yeah, right. So if you are short in time.
I don't actually. I mean, I don't know if I've actually had a lentil.
Uh-huh.
Right.
No problem. I appreciate. I always appreciate your open mind. Thank you. So you can buy them canned, and all of the cans these days, are BPA free, so you don't have to worry about that.
I'm sorry.
Go
You
ahead.
need to rinse the can.
Yeah, no, I mean, take it out. For example,
You have to rinse
yeah, I put it in a container and use the water, or put it in a strainer and, allow it to. Well, it's been in the can for a long time, and also I don't like any extra sodium that might be in there to sneak into my.
I'm sorry. I really don't know.
Oh, no problem. Ask all the questions. If I don't know, I'll say I don't know. So, when you ask questions, that means that you are curious, right? And that's the opening door for you to be open to that experience. So all questions are very welcome, right? What else? You can buy them vacuum packed sometimes. When I travel, right, to home, which is India, it's around 36 hours of flight. And sometimes I do buy vacuum packed ones in Indian store if, I feel like, I might not like the food in one of the flights, which I am very, very mindful about. So I might buy vacuum sealed ones too, but they are available out there. And then you can also buy frozen ones. That edamame was frozen, right? So you can buy them frozen too. What are some strategies that to include in your diet? You can add it to soups, salads, pastas. There is a slide here today where you can mix it with your tomato sauce, and nobody in the world would know that you have mixed it with the tomato sauce. So just saying, you can you can add it, to your salads. They include that extra color in there. To soups, and this is also another salad, and there is green peas there. You can include edamame too as part of it, right?
Back home, they make like yellow rice with either beans or the Indian peas, but they make their rice with it inside.
Oh, okay. Like with the rice, they will mix those pigeon peas too. Oh, I see. Yeah.
Instead of having back home, back in Puerto Rico, they eat a lot of legumes and
Mm-hmm.
beans and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And usually people like it like white rice with the whatever,
Mm-hmm.
or they would make the yellow rice
Mm-hmm.
with either the beans or the pigeon peas or the chickpeas together inside.
Yeah. That's a neat way to reduce the glycemic index of white rice. Right? White rice, white rice is what you'll use in Puerto Rico?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
they use. But and
Yeah.
also they don't use the long rice. They
Mm-hmm.
use a medium
Medium
grain.
rice, okay. So, that's a neat way because when you include peas along with, either whatever type of rice, right? Rice is known to, upregulate your or, increase your blood glucose levels. But when you include any type of bean with rice, there is a fiber in it and that will help mellow down any of those blood glucose spikes, which is very,
And also something
very, very.
that they make for like let's say parties or things like that.
Mm-hmm.
If I a cowboy caviar, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just like with it's called ensalada de granos, like green salad.
Ah.
So they put it any kind of like beans and pigeon peas and
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They do like this kind of dressing with olive oil and garlic, pretty much,
Mm-hmm.
a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of lemon,
Mm-hmm.
cilantro,
Mm-hmm.
and they eat it with chips.
Wow, okay. Very delicious.
That's how they got me to eating like beans and whatnot. Some way I'm
Ah,
gonna make it.
yeah, yeah. Thank you for sharing that. That's very neat. How else? You can puree for dips. Hummus totally counts, right? Hummus, plain lemon, red pepper, olive. You can make hummus at home. Um, if you boil a can of chickpeas and then add lemon, tahini, anything else that you want to mix along with it in food processor, you can make hummus at home and it tastes so different from the store bought one, right? One of the recipes in my wish list to demo here at some point in time, and I'll get to that when the time comes, right? Lentil dip, again the same philosophy there. Guacamole, I have seen a recipe where they mix edamame or peas along with it to increase that protein content. I don't know, guacamole by itself is so satisfying and I just can't imagine how including it might taste, but I have seen a recipe like that. Again, bean dips, black bean dips. I see black bean dips in HEB and in different retail, grocery stores. So you can include it as dips. That also counts, right? You can also mash it for sandwich filling. You ready for this? So here is a video, and I hope the sound comes. So that's how it'll look at the end. Tahini, mustard, maple syrup, teeny weeny. Why not? Red onion. Sunflower seeds. Mix it all together. Don't worry about lettuce. You can also put it on a bread of your choice. Yeah, you made that? Wow. Yeah. I'll put it in the app because this week I think I can put half a cup of lentils or legumes every day in your meal. So I'll put it inside the app and I'll put this recipe too inside it. Okay. And I might post that video so that you can all have it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, with bread, with lettuce, whatever you feel like, put it inside it, or if you just want to eat it like that, that also counts, right? Exactly. So that's a way you can make burgers, meatballs, plant-based patties, black bean burgers. Tempeh is a type of soy. Have you seen tempeh? Yeah. Well, it's actually um, one step less processing than tofu. You know, you can see the soybeans inside it. So tempeh burgers, you can make it. Zucchini white bean fritters, chickpea meatballs, quinoa bean patties. The option is endless. Your imagination is the limit. Is sometimes how I feel with regard to using.
One time I tried a black bean burger. It was really good. I mean, it doesn't taste like burger, but it was
Totally.
but it was good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, so this week is your experimentation week, right? We tell that, you know, try at least once, right? So if you feel like you want to try out something different in your burgers, one of the days you can choose one of those plant burgers, and some of the places do offer them. And I, you know, not, you know, I don't have, I always, one of my patients, how about that Beyond Meat burger? I'm like, mm, they are made, they are made from soy, and it has a lot of additional flavorings, chemicals that my grandmother won't be able to understand. So if there is something that my grandmother is not able to understand, that I am not having it, right? So you know, any of those plant-based patties, that's what they call, right? They taste very close to the animal protein based burgers, but they kind of mix it with a lot of chemicals. So I'd always stay away from that. I might as well have an actual burger rather than that, is how I take it, right? And then you can roast your beans for a delicious crunchy snack. This is how it looks when I resist the temptation to eat it in between, you know, in between it roasting. But it's a very crunchy snack, and it really satisfies that need to have a chip at the end of the day, for me at least, right? So I do love chips too, but when I feel like, you know, I need to have a lot of them, I will do a big sheet of those crunchy snacks, which is again here available as a recipe for you. Um, you can also puree into sauces or soups. For example, the first box up there, creamy tomato sauce. It's 1 jar of tomato sauce, 1 ounce of cannellini beans, and you can actually put it into your blender and process it until smooth. Cannellini beans doesn't have any, how do I say this? It kind of, it's a white bean, right? And it gets mixed nicely, and there is nobody can figure out that it's in there, right? So texture is different though. It won't be the same as tomato sauce, right? But when you mix it into your pasta, nobody knows what is happening there, right? So that's the option there. You can also include it as part of dressings. So there is a recipe there for you. Half a cup of white beans, quarter cup of white beans, quarter cup of fresh lemon juice, half a cup of olive oil, 1 teaspoon of mustard, and fresh herbs of your choice, and water to thin it, and you can make a creamy salad dressing too with it. So there are a lot of options here. There is a bean spread here too, if you want to put it on top of your bread in addition to that mashed chickpeas. So a lot of ideas in here for you to experiment with. This is that cannellini beans with tomato sauce. This is the one where you can puree it into a sauce, and then that's the dressing one, right? So a lot of ideas for you there. I'm going to turn this on, and I always forget it, so that it heats up. So go ahead.
Question. How long does this last? Like you make some of the tomato sauce or any of the other items
In the beans,
How long will it last in the refrigerator?
Oh, yeah, close to a week. Yeah, nice question. Yeah, close to 5 days, definitely inside the refrigerator. And if you need to use it for a longer than that, if you don't get done with it, put it inside the freezer and you can always. Yeah.
Did you mix it together and what
Mhm.
you didn't use freeze?
Mhm.
The size of container that you would use it
Yeah.
and freeze it.
Yeah, yeah. That's so that it's available for you for a later time. So there are different types of beans, right? There are firmer ones which take a little longer to cook, but when you buy the canned ones, then it is very easy to cook them. And there are those softer variety of beans, white beans, pinto beans, green lentils, red lentils, variety of them in there. And your action for this week is to include half cup of beans or lentils of your choice in any way, in any shape that you want to include in at least one of your meals. Now, I want to make it really doable for you and not aim for perfection at all. It's about opening up your mind, see how you can include it as part of your eating pattern. And this week, each of you will get access again to the app, because I feel like, this is something that you can do, try to do every day. So welcome back to the app this time. You will get a link in your email along with, there is a text to that email asking you to download the app and then, check the actions. I know one of the divas here, it will be a new experience for you. It's not the Team Up app, it's a separate app, right? So, yes, my coach. So, let's get to cooking. I'm going to follow the same recipe here for the instant pot. There are a few additions that it's in here. Let's see. I'm going to add red onions, but any type of onion is totally okay. I love the flavor and the smell of red onions. And as I always say, make it really easy on you. If you do not like crying when you are cutting onions, I would buy it, already cut. Other than that, I have lentils here. I did buy roasted canned tomatoes. I have spinach to include in it after the fact, cilantro, yeah. And then I have, when you go to HEB in the healthy living aisle, you do have those bottles of garam masala. Garam masala is nothing but cumin, coriander seeds, what else in it? It's a mixture of some spices, but you will get in there. I did add some turmeric too along with this, right? Turmeric has that curcuminoid and it's anti-inflammatory, antioxidant. So I added that too with this, and I did bring vegetable broth and then have lemon at the end, right? So adding that vitamin C at the end will allow the iron in lentils and also in spinach to be bioavailable for your body. So that's the idea behind adding lemon at the end in addition to the flavor that it offers, okay? So I'm going to wipe my hands because I figured that when I use the gloves, I'm not able to balance it clearly. So I'm going to nicely wipe my hands. So that's your action today. Okay. I did buy some frozen ginger too. Right. So yeah. I'm going to start by adding some onions. Go ahead.
I'm looking at recipes for French cuisine,
Uh-huh.
and they have a lot of extra things. Does that automatically make it
bad, or do you still get the benefits? Like, I don't know,
Uh-huh.
bacon and maple syrup. Seriously, I'll try it.
Yeah.
I can't just eat a plate of green meat. You have something
Sure.
extra. So does that automatically make it bad?
Let's review that recipe so that we can tweak it
Okay.
so that you have the extra flavor you need to enjoy it, because I haven't seen that recipe. So I want to see what it has. And please stop, please stay here after our session and I will be sure to review it, okay? So some red onions, and I'm going to add the ginger to it. It's a cube of ginger, so could be like half an inch of fresh cut ginger if you are buying those. I'm just going to slide it into, it's in the freezer section, so you really don't even have.
And I think it was in the vegetable. It's been so long since I had that.
And then I'm going to add some roasted tomatoes. You can use fresh tomatoes too. I'm just using it for convenience today. A roasted can of tomatoes, that's the can there. You eat a lot of beans? Do you include variety of them? Yeah.
Recently got started with the lentils, actually.
Uh-huh.
The lentils, the dry ones, and I spiced up onion and put them in that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
I was going to make, like my intent was to make a lentil loaf,
Uh-huh.
but they tasted so good. I said, no, I'm not going to actually put this inside.
Yeah, yeah, totally. They are so, you cannot stop tasting them, right? Yeah, yeah. Salt to taste. I always go lower on the salt side. So at the end of the session, when you are tasting it, if you feel like you're a little tad a bit less salt, please come here and take the salt, right? And then I'm also going to add the garam masala seasoning around. It does. I am just using it as a plant forward thing, but you can use chicken broth, you can use any of those broths. So,
I'm trying to convince my daughter to try.
totally. And then I'm going to add the lentils to it. From the can, rinsed. Yes, one can. Going to add a little bit of broth so that it can cook and also for that extra flavor.
It does smell good.
Yeah. They don't have the smell basically. Like when it is canned, the smell and whatever you are not liking, it kind of goes away with that water. So I'm using the green colored ones.
Okay, but the green have less protein and fiber than the other ones?
I won't even count like that. Most of them have, a good serving of protein.
Okay.
Anywhere from, as I said, 11 to 12 grams. So definitely a good amount of protein in there. Little bit of salt. just on top of it. Ah, I use sea salt. My husband likes salt shopping. He'll buy Himalayan pink salt. The other day he got Celtic salt, and I am like, and each salt, it has different amount of, what is the word, saltiness. So I have to rediscover every single time how much salt to add. So, but
Sometime I think you were gonna do a whole class on salt. I think that would be.
interesting, yeah, sometime. You guys hold me accountable. That's nice.
Well, you seriously, you do know a lot and you're knowledgeable and I'm having my dumb questions and you always answer them with a smile on your face.
Oh, because I have a high schooler at home.
What is that?
This is cilantro. I'm going to put cilantro on top. Oh, you don't like it?
No, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's only a little bit. I know some of us don't like it, so we have, we
I
have
didn't
that.
know if that's what it was. So. It said to put garnish it with it, so I didn't know.
Yeah,
You mixed it in.
and it's done. It's almost done. And then I'll also add a handful of spinach. It's this baby spinach. I do, but I cannot do it now. Not the stems of it. You can take it out.
Whenever I use it, I always break those off.
Yeah. After the fact, I thought I should have gotten the frozen spinach, but by the time I reached home, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to run with this time.
So, did you use red lentils with that, or they too?
You can use red lentils too, same recipe. You can use chickpeas too, same recipe. You can use black beans too, same recipe. But the taste will be different because of.
Different colored lentils taste different then?
Yes.
Okay.
They do taste different and they do have a different type of those phytochemicals in them. And so, including a variety of beans as part of your eating pattern. Spinach. And then a little bit of lemon on top. I hope I did not miss anything today. I did sleep well yesterday, so I'm extra alert and I'm in my full, they say my son was saying this morning, Mom, you are in full form today. He, garam masala. Yeah, it is nothing but a mixture of coriander seeds, cumin seeds. I think there is some mango powder. It's a blend of spices, but you can still use onion, garlic powder, and any spice along with this, right? So your imagination or your creativity is the limit with regard to spices. Yeah, I think this is done.
Take it to heart, your hack of going to HEB, get it to the healthy food section, and then those little amounts of different spices.
Yeah.
I've done that lately. I'm like, got real excited. I'm like, oh man, I can just get a little bit. I don't
Right.
have to buy a huge thing of these different seeds.
Right.
And spices.
Yeah.
So I purchased hemp seeds
Mhm.
over there.
Mhm.
Because I always thought you have to buy the big containers.
Mhm.
Just a little bit.
Mhm.
So I put it on my salad.
Yeah. Yeah. And you don't have to waste them, right?
Exactly.
Thank you, Edith.
Thank you for sharing that.
Thank
'cause I
you.
had no idea I could do that.
Yeah. We are ready for tasting. So thank you very much for coming today. And you will see the actions and tiny lessons in the app. And I'll see you again in December. Thank you.